Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. All right, I have my Green Witch Tarot. We're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with, what you may need to look at, and possible future energies. All right, Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Okay. What you may be struggling with is the Two of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, right? Finding that balance in a relationship or a partnership or business and work, home life and work life, family and friends. What you may need to look at is the King of Wands. Comfort, what brings you comfort? Learning from the past. Possible future energies is Three of Cups, happiness, surrounding yourself with positive friends and people and energies. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Wands. I feel like you are questioning what is going on around you, right? Because he's standing there and he's bracing himself and he's looking at that little fairy and he's like, can I trust you or can I not trust you? Right? Hanging in there. Nine of Wands is hanging in there, not giving up, right? Okay, so what you may be struggling with is we have the Four of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. It's finding that balance between different areas of your life, and it also has to do with a partnership, working together. Is there balance within a relationship? Is there a relationship that has balance? Is it a give and take? Is it a partnership or is it one-sided? Maybe that's what you're struggling with. Maybe you're not feeling like you're giving as much. For some reason, I'm feeling like, do you feel like you've kind of lost interest in a situation, a partnership, a work, job, friendship, that you feel like you don't want to put in as much as you were before? That are your feelings changing? Or is it a partnership that you feel like you are giving more than what the other side is giving? What you need to look at as the King of Wands is what makes you happy, what makes you feel cozy, what makes you feel secure, what brings you, learning from the past. Again, learning from the past. Have you been in relationships or situations where you're always giving and the other person isn't? And do you accept that for way too long? And you said to yourself, okay, the next time this happens, I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to face it. I'm going to deal with it. And this time you're not. Or is it that you're looking from the past that, hey, that you stayed in a situation that you weren't happy with, that you weren't giving 100% to, and you stayed in it too long before you went and you found something new, and that you just accepted it and you just kind of went with it. But you're like, hey, I'm learning from the past, that I said to myself, if I'm in a situation that I'm not happy with, that this time I'm not going to have that happen to me again. And is it this time that you need to make that change, right? Or are you following that same pattern that you did before, where you were accepting it yet again? All right, so let's get some clarification on this. Why did I feel like it was going to be that? We have the Lovers, a relationship, right? And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Immediately it caught my eye with this web here, right? This old way of doing things, right? Old patterns, old relationship patterns, that you're struggling with that. And that's exactly what I was explaining when I was talking about the King of Wands, is that before you used to accept this behavior, you used to keep yourself in this energy, and you said this time around you didn't want to have that happen, right? That you wanted to change things up. We have the Queen of Pentacles and we have the Nine of Cups. You're not going to be able to attain your Nine of Cups if you keep accepting old patterns that didn't make you happy and trying to change things, that, oh, this time around it'll change, but you've already been on this place multiple times and nothing changed. It's like if you have that person, that relationship, right? And you're in a relationship, you have a breakup, you separate, and then that person comes back and you accept them back into your life and you're like, okay, they said they were going to change. You give them a chance and they don't change. They go back to the same patterns, and then you break up and then you're separated, and then that person comes back in and they do the same thing over and over and over. And sometimes it's years. It's years that you keep trying to say, they'll change, but they've shown you time and time again that they're not going to change, that it's not going to be different, right? And you keep trying to think that it's going to change and it doesn't. And so you keep missing out on this Nine of Cups because you're spending all of this time over here trying to make this thing that isn't working, or that you're not feeling, or you're accepting something that you're not really happy with, and you keep trying to make that happen. Well, meanwhile, you're missing out on the Nine of Cups, right? You're missing out what's truly making you happy. You're missing out on that happiness because you're trying to make something that doesn't work, that doesn't make you happy. You're trying to make that work. So for future energies, we have this King of Swords, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Knight of Cups. I feel like it's a new, you learn from your past. You're like, okay, I need to look at that, but then I actually have to do it. That you're learning from your past, right? They're saying it's a new way of thinking. We have two kings here, the King of Swords and the King of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. Maybe it was because you were too involved in your emotions that you weren't really using your head, and you weren't being analytical about it, and you weren't seeing that, okay, I keep going in this pattern and it's not working out, and that I'm missing out on my Nine of Cups. And that this time I want new emotions, I want new feelings, I want change moving forward, right? I want change moving forward. In order for that to happen, I have to make the change. Perfect. The Magician, you are in control. Look at that determination. He has his hands around all of the cups and pentacles and swords, and that you're in control of the decisions that you're making, right? With your relationships, Ace of Cups. So this says it right here. Realizing that you're in control of your relationships, right? You're in control as if you accept this person back into your life and you open that door for them to come back in. Justice. What works best for you? What's best for you? Is it best for you to open that door and let that person back in and give them yet another try? Or is it best for you to realize, okay, I've done this 9 million times before and it didn't work out, and it always works out the same way and I end up being hurt? Or that I accept behavior, or I'm in a relationship or a situation that I'm not really into, but I'm just doing it because I don't want to be alone, or I don't want to deal with change, and that I'm missing out on my Nine of Cups. And that if I want change, I have to do the changing. I have to make the decisions. I have to change things up. All right, so let's get a final message from the universe. The World, right? Achieving the world. King of Wands. King of Wands has come up here. King of Wands, King of Wands, King of Wands. 3 King of Wands here. Learning. Wise, wisdom, 9 of Pentacles. It's all in your hands. It's all up to you. Looking at the past, looking at those choices that you've made in the past, those decisions that you made in the past, those patterns that you made in the past. Learning from those. This time around, learning from those, right? Not accepting them, but learning from them. Time. Sometimes it takes time to realize these things, to sometimes we don't feel that it was quite right before, but this time around, wanting that change. This time around, wanting things to be different. This time around, making things different. All right. And Animal Oracle, embrace the in-between. That not getting frustrated with this in-between, but seeing what's being displayed to you, seeing what's being put out there for you, and embracing this in-between to be able to make those changes that are needed. And acknowledging those, learning from those. These 3 King of Wands. Wands represents actions, right? But they're all looking past. This one's looking back. These 2 are looking back. This one's kind of in the moment, in the in-between. But these 2 are looking back. But I feel like you have to see what was in back here, right? To see what was going on and what you were missing out on. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.